Hi, I'm Vanessa Cordera, and I'm giving my tribute speech over Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was the greatest leader in U.S. history. He was a leader in the African American Civil Rights Movement. His plan was to end segregation, and he gave one of the most known speeches ever in history. I chose Dr. King because he was a charismatic leader, and he was a voice for the African American culture before the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act. The African American Civil Rights Movement took place from 1958 to 1964. Dr. King successfully led the Civil Rights Movement through the 1960s. The African American Civil Rights Movement had a goal to end racial discrimination and segregation against Black Americans and to provide protection and citizen rights. They wanted to just make everything equal for everyone. So getting to one of my main points is segregation is the separation of individuals into racial groups in everyone's daily lives. So it applied to many things, including different colored water fountains, unable to eat at certain restaurants, using certain bathrooms, attending schools, and even unable to ride on buses or trains. And segregation itself is defined by the European Commission Against Racism and Intolerance, which is known as the act by a person being separated by other people for no good reason. Racial segregation is usually when members of different races prefer to work or just do stuff together with people of their own kind. Which brings us to the Montgomery bus boycott. This was an event that happened during the Civil Rights Movement. It was a social and political campaign against racial segregation on the public transit in Montgomery, Alabama. This campaign started on December 1st, 1955, when Rosa Parks was just doing her own thing and she was asked to move seats, and she refused to for a white person. So they arrested her. So that campaign ended December 20th, 1956, when it was taken to the U.S. Supreme Court, where it was declared that the segregated buses were to be unconstitutional. And Dr. King delivered a public speech on August 28th, 1963. Known as the I Have a Dream. It was delivered to end racism in the United States. The speech was delivered in front of 250,000 civil rights supporters on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. In King's speech, he described his dreams of freedom and equality to form a land free of slavery and hatred. Martin Luther King Jr. was a humanitarian and leader in the African American Civil Rights Movement. He had contributed many factors on this time period that changed who we are today. Dr. King was just a man with an idea that had accomplished a goal that no one could ever achieve. Thank you.